The takeover, Caitlin Clark and Sophie Cunningham have officially taken over Las Vegas alongside Justine Passat. Hey, I'm just saying, Indiana Fever, y'all look real bad. We have to get into Caitlin Clark taking over Las Vegas. She got NBA players out there calling her the best player in the world. Sophie Cunningham, UFC, all types of stuff. We got the Indiana Fever versus the Las
Game expecting a little basketball. They definitely weren't expecting front office drama. A microphone hotter than a fourth quarter shooting streak, and Sophie Cunningham deciding that diplomacy was officially on injured reserve. What exactly happened that has fans arguing, social media melting down, and everyone suddenly talking about the Indiana Fever instead of the scoreboard? Buckle up, because this story gets stranger, louder, and a whole lot more unbelievable the deeper you dig.
Clark. The most popular WNBA player is her teammate, Sophie Cunningham. Now, Sophie Cunningham is not a superstar. Okay, Caitlin Clark, face of the league, the money train for the players, but there's no doubt about it, guys. Sophie Cunningham is extremely easy.
No longer revolving around a game-winning three-pointer, a dazzling crossover, or a championship race. Instead, one of the loudest debates in basketball exploded because a player decided she had seen enough.
Right now, like straight up, enough is enough. Enough is enough. I've been saying this since last season. She an Asian, bro. Something ain't right here with this woman. In case you guys didn't know, Caitlin Clark will be playing tomorrow versus the Aces. She will be on minute restrictions. She's saying 20 minutes around it. Why? Why is it 20 minutes? Why? Caitlin Clark said she was fine after last game. Said she wasn't even winning. The way you played.
Found herself standing in the middle of it without ever looking as though she regretted a single second.
She's not an overnight sensation anymore. She's not just a meme. She's not just somebody who put JC Sheldon in a headlock. She's not just somebody who went 2v1 against the Connecticut Sun. She's not somebody who pointed at Dewana Bonner. Sophie Cunningham has officially hit the mainstream. She has now placed herself as one of the three top stars of
football. Praises teammates who stand up after late hits. Baseball benches empty almost on instinct whenever tensions boil over.
Will hang over Caitlin Clark's head if they lose. The narratives that this team is better without her will continue to be pushed if they don't win this game. And if she does not play well, I feel like Stephanie White is going to try to sabotage her with a minutes restriction, but we'll get to that later. The takeover has been underway. Caitlin Clark took over.
Is exactly why one sequence involving Cunningham resonated so strongly with so many fans. By the time that game reached its boiling point, plenty of viewers believed they had already watched Caitlin Clark absorb another afternoon filled with bumps, hard fouls, constant attention, and increasingly physical defense. Whether every hit deserved outrage depended on who was watching, but almost everyone agreed on one thing. The intensity surrounding Clark had become unlike anything the league had experienced in years. Every nationally televised game seemed to generate another debate. Social media clips circulated within minutes. Television analysts argued over whether defenders were simply competing hard or deliberately testing the rookie-turned-superstar every chance they received. Fans dissected every replay as though they were studying evidence in a courtroom instead of watching a basketball game. That atmosphere created the perfect recipe for emotions to overflow. When Connecticut's physical approach once again became part of the story, Cunningham reached a point where she decided enough was enough. After a sequence involving JC Sheldon and Clark escalated the tension, Cunningham committed an intentional foul that immediately changed the mood inside the arena. It was not a basketball play designed to stop a fast break. It was a statement that said the Fever were no longer willing to let every confrontation pass without a response.
That Phoenix, Sophie, the black belt, the blonde bomber, Sophie Cunningham. Y'all remember Phoenix Mercury? Y'all tried to do that shit. Offensive foul on Kalia Copper, the oil spill, and then Sophie hits the free throw.
Her growing reputation as someone who genuinely believed protecting teammates came before worrying about public perception. That response quickly became almost as memorable as the foul itself. Instead of sounding apologetic during interviews, Cunningham explained that she viewed the entire situation through the lens of accumulated frustration. From her perspective, the incident was not created by one possession. Her comments only intensified when the conversation shifted away from that particular game and toward Clark's place within the WNBA. During an appearance that quickly spread across every major social media platform, Cunningham dismissed the ongoing debate over whether Clark is the face of the league. She argued forcefully that anyone denying Clark's impact was ignoring obvious reality. The clip traveled across basketball circles almost instantly, generating millions of views, endless reaction videos, and thousands of comments from supporters and critics alike.
They're getting her ass kicked every day by other women, for God's sakes. As a former, really top-level athlete, what do you make of that? What is their problem? Is this a racial thing? Is that what we're looking at, pure and simply? They don't like that she's not the right race and is doing well?
Arenas are fuller than they have been in years. Merchandise sales have reached remarkable levels. National media outlets devote significantly more attention to the league than they did only a short time ago. Clark is not responsible for every bit of that progress, but very few people seriously dispute that she has become one of the biggest engines driving basketball's current surge in popularity. That reality has also created uncomfortable conversations. Many longtime observers argue that today's success belongs to years of work by veteran stars who built the league long before Clark arrived. Almost overnight, she became something larger than a reserve guard for the Indiana Fever. Supporters began describing her as the teammate willing to say publicly what they believed others preferred discussing only behind closed doors. Memes appeared across every social media platform. Highlight packages paired dramatic music with clips of her defending Clark.
You knew who the ring girl was, and her name was Sophie.
Searching for context, assigning motives, and debating whether Cunningham had crossed a line or fulfilled an unwritten responsibility that athletes have shared for generations. Meanwhile, another conversation quietly continued gaining momentum beneath the surface. Many basketball fans began questioning the officiating itself. Throughout Clark's first professional seasons, numerous games featured heated discussions about how referees handled physical defense against her. Cunningham made her own opinion unmistakably clear. She explained that referees had contributed to the situation by failing, in her view, to protect one of the league's premier attractions. She emphasized that she entered games focused on shooting, executing game plans, and helping Indiana win. But she also made it equally clear that protecting teammates remained part of her responsibility whenever circumstances demanded it. Whether people applauded that philosophy or criticized it, almost nobody ignored it.
Great coach. Whenever Caitlin Clark doesn't go out there and play like the greatest WNBA player to ever touch a basketball.
Indiana's fan base embraced the moment with remarkable enthusiasm. Inside Gainbridge Fieldhouse, chants celebrating Cunningham echoed throughout the arena during subsequent appearances. Supporters rarely connect only with statistics anymore. They connect with personalities. They remember players who appear authentic, even when authenticity generates controversy. Cunningham's reputation shifted almost overnight from energetic role player to fearless teammate, and that transformation resonated because fans could easily understand the emotion behind it. At the same time, criticism arrived just as quickly. Detractors argued that escalating physical confrontations risks making already tense games even more dangerous. I don't think spoken defense of Clark had permanently changed the chemistry surrounding one of the league's most watched teams. For the WNBA, the situation represented both an opportunity and a challenge. Attention was pouring into the league at extraordinary levels. Success had brought a spotlight bright enough to illuminate every disagreement, and suddenly even routine basketball moments carried national significance. That growing spotlight also changed the way every public comment was interpreted. A sentence that might have disappeared into the background only a few seasons ago suddenly became headline material, impossible to dismiss. Her remarks were celebrated by many fans who felt someone inside the league had finally voiced what television ratings, ticket sales, and packed arenas had been suggesting for months. Others viewed her comments as unnecessarily divisive, arguing that basketball should remain about collective success rather than elevating one player above everyone else. That disagreement revealed something much deeper than a simple argument over popularity. The WNBA is experiencing a rare moment in professional sports where rapid growth has arrived alongside intense public scrutiny. Cunningham's comments landed squarely in the middle of that environment, which is why they echoed far beyond Indiana. As the debate intensified, many supporters pointed toward measurable changes around the league. Attendance numbers had climbed, television audiences had expanded, and merchandise sales had reached levels that would have been difficult to imagine only a few years earlier. While countless players, coaches, and executives deserve credit for building that foundation over decades, Clark's arrival undeniably accelerated interest from casual sports fans who previously paid little attention to the WNBA.